All right, you guys, talking about traffic lights. Many of us don't know too much about them because, well, we know about them, but we don't experience them much because Watertown doesn't have any. Waconia does and Delano does, but we really don't. So as we're looking at this, basics. Red means stop, and you have to wait until the light changes. Okay. After stopping, you can make a right turn. Now, a lot of people just shorten that rule up to right on red, and they see a red light, they move into the right lane, and they just turn without stopping. That is illegal. That if a cop watches you turn right without stopping on a red light, you can get pulled over and you'd be running the red light. Even though many people say, hey, it's right on red. A lot of misconceptions with that. So sometimes parents will tell you that rule. Stick with, you have to stop and check for to make sure it's clear. You can make a left turn if it's a one-way going to the left in some areas. I've only really been on one of these that's down by the Xcel Energy Center, and oddly enough, it's by the place where all of your driving records are kept at the Minnesota Department of Public Safety. So, that's kind of one odd place. But otherwise, right on red is a rule that we live by in Minnesota. Not every state does, though. So don't just assume that you can keep going in different places. Okay. Now, a red arrow, that also means stop, and you can't turn when that is on. Now, if you have a flashing red light, you're going to treat it like a stop sign. So if it keeps blinking at you, you can stop and you can go. There is a road as you're moving towards Ridgedale Mall area on Highway 6 where there's two stop signs in a row, and hanging above the intersection is a flashing red light. You can kind of focus on that as being okay, it's flashing, so I can stop and I can go. Yellow, they talk about it meaning caution. I would erase that. I would have you write this down. Clear the intersection is really what you should do, because a lot of people go, well, you just cautiously go through the intersection. I would say that's a bad idea because people usually slow down to become cautious. So if you don't want to enter it, if you can stop safely before doing that. If you can't, then you go through. When you see a red light, a yellow light, many people speed up. Now you get a speeding ticket and a red light, a red light violation as you go through the intersection. So make sure you just think, clear the intersection, stay out or get across. Okay, and proceed with caution if it's flashing. So if it's flashing, then you just make sure you go, but you have to obey the rules of straight traffic gets to go first, so on and so forth. And if you have situations like this, the one on the left, the green light means you can go. The green light and then the green arrow means you can go straight and turn. The red light, red circle, and the green arrow means straight traffic has to stop and allow the turning traffic to go. Now, with all this being said, you can watch this video again, but traffic lights, they're great, but always be on the defensive. One thing I do if I'm stopped at a traffic light, I practice lift, look, and go. I lift my foot off the brake, I look both ways, and then I go. That way you're not taking off just because it's a green light and running into somebody who is running the red light on the other side or the perpendicular sides. So think about it, rewatch the video if you need to, and be safe with traffic lights.